on this board.
Yeah, this is interesting. We added 3 more by vote of the Baseball Writers Association to the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. Adrian Beltre, what an unbelievable career. You go back and if you look at the statistics, you say, gee, this guy was a stud. 286 career average, 477 home runs in a career that spanned 21 years. He went from Dodgers to free agency in Seattle to free agency in Texas. Quiet, efficient, and really good. And I think the most unique thing about Beltre is the bulk of the big superstar numbers were put up after he left Dodger Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes from Chavez Ravine to Cooperstown. One of the really nice people in baseball. First baseman, DH slugger Todd Helton, entire career in Colorado. 316 career average, 389 home runs. People will yell, well, he played half his career at Coors Canaveral, Coors Field. His statistics are almost identical, home versus road.
Amazing.
Really good player. Nice man, very trustworthy. Third guy, hometown product, made good. Joe Mauer. He plays one of the toughest positions in baseball, Minnesota Twins. His entire career, I think it was 16 years, behind home plate. The wear and tear factor on a catcher is unbelievable, yet he hit 306 with 143 home runs. Those are the 3 that made it in. I do not understand why Billy Wagner is not in. I mean, that's a fascinating story. The Phillies and Astros left-hander who broke his arm and came back and made himself a left-handed pitcher. 2.31 career ERA, 422 saves, nearly 1,200 strikeouts and 903 innings, and he's still not in the Hall of Fame. I thought we had knocked that barrier down when Trevor Hoffman and the Yankee great got into the Hall of Fame. I thought all relievers then would be welcome with open arms, and now he only missed by 4 votes, so maybe next year. Gary Sheffield, I just don't quite understand this. He played 22 years. Lifetime hitter, 292, 509 home runs. Now, the only negatives on his career was he seemed to be a chronic problem player. He'd been with 8 teams. He kept getting traded. There was also insinuations. Was he a substance abuse guy? Was his 509 home run power because he did so? Never tested positive, was never dragged into the Dowd report and all the other stuff. He's on the outside looking in now because his 10-year limit has expired. And then there's the controversial guys. Alex Rodriguez, 296 career average, 696 home runs, a rod, a fraud, a liar, a been suspended. Not in the Hall of Fame. He drew only 34% of the vote. And then there's Manny Wood in Hollywood. That's what he was called when he came here with the Dodgers.
I remember that.
Manny Ramirez, Indians, Red Sox, 555 home runs. Same storyline with him, with A-Rod, with Barry Bonds, with Roger Clemens, with Mark McGwire. Cheats. So if we opened up fans forum just for that topic on the table, we'd fill up this board with these guys who are great in baseball. They deserve to be there. And my response is, well, they stain the most important thing in baseball, which is the baseball record book. And that's why they're getting 32% or 34% or fell off the ballot completely. And John Riley out in left field says,
left field, a couple of comments on each of these guys. I remember when Beltre was with the Dodgers, he was young. He was like 19 or 20, and he was playing third base, and he was all the hype, and nothing really worked out for him until his contract year. And then he cashed in, went to Seattle, and he seemed to sort of be in obscurity, for me as a Padre fan.
He disappeared off the radar.
Yeah, exactly. And then he shows up in Texas, and he just keeps compiling these numbers. I just love the videos when people try to touch his head, and that just bugs him. I think it's just hilarious stuff. Helton, class guy, worthy of it. He even kind of tipped a hat to Tony Gwynn, who kind of taught him some things. Mauer, don't know a lot about him, but clearly he's a dude. But I look at those guys that just missed. And Wagner, the numbers say it, but, was he ever on a world championship team? I'm not sure if he was.
Might have been towards the end with Philly.
I'm not sure.
But the statistics they're phenomenal.
They are incredible. But the guys that were on the juice, okay, whether it's A-Rod or Manny Wood or Sheffield, even Bonds and Clemens, they all need to go in. Okay, they all need to be in the Hall of Fame. And you can put an asterisk next to the plaque. You can include a paragraph next to the plaque that explains the controversy. But you cannot tell the story of baseball without having all of those names in there.
I think that the most intriguing thing to me, and the asterisk thing has been discussed, most intriguing thing to me is that stain will forever be there if you're a diehard baseball fan. If I mention to you just in a conversation over a cup of coffee, first reaction, what do you think of when I say Barry Bonds?
Big head, steroids.
Okay. What's your first reaction when I use the word Roger Clemens?
Yeah, tough guy, steroids.
Okay. And we
Yeah,
went
exactly.
down the road there. So that's where you are. That controversy will just rage on and on and on. But those three guys will be enshrined at Cooperstown this coming summer. A couple of other topics on the